Hi, Queens. How are you today? Again, I tell you, when there is a emergency here in the nation, there is a urgency. I said hello to my queens, and I say, when there is an emergency in the nation, there is an urgency in the nation for us to speak on things that are so important that we must address, that must be handled. Now, as you do know, Jesus is in the building as always. And if you are here, you can feel him in the building. Yes, you can. Thank him graciously for the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, I do. I thank God for knowledge. I thank him for my experiences and the fact that I have gathered wisdom from my experience that gave me the knowledge so that I could be used as a vessel to pour out all the words of blessages that my people need. In the nation, I told you that we represent recovering addicts. And we are here because we have our little black girls, pretty brown girls, growing up in a society that is completely turned around. And it is up to us to straighten it out and make it turn in the right direction. Now, there are lots of people who speak against us, who try to use our past against us. But I say to you people, if you are not speaking education to children that are coming behind you, and if you are downrating what we're doing, you also are turned backwards. And you do need guidance yourselves. Now, I would love to say hello to all the chosen women, queens of other nations. Thank you for joining in. Hello to all the black queens on the rise, all the black queens who support each other, who we support each other by lending a helping hand, a helping word, a helping heart, by lending knowledge that helps, wisdom that helps, as well as experience. Now, we do know that the enemy will be upset because we can no longer be used or walked like a dog with yoke around our neck. We know that he will be upset because everything that he tried when we were in the dark, in that storm of substance abuse, everything he tried during the time that we were considered, we broke through because we were chosen. We were built for this. We were built for harsh words to be thrown at us and for us to continue with calm attitudes, to continue to walk in grace, to be queens who influence with grace, with great wisdom, understanding, honor, and respect for our ladies, our other queens that are on the way, and our little beautiful brown princesses that are coming behind us. Now, this podcast is dedicated to King Richard Brooks. Yes, it is. You see, because he was a king and he wasn't on a high level like some people would think, but he was. He may not have had a lot of money and been really rich, but he was really rich and very, very favorite. and favored by our Heavenly Father. King Rashad taught young black men and young boys, he was teaching them how to choose a right path in life. And we need kings like him on all levels, as well as queens like me on all levels. So it doesn't matter what you possess and what you have. I told you, our Father said, come as you are. That means come as you are in the spirit. Because even though you may dress down from that suit or that dress and put on some casual pants and a pair of shorts and some sneakers, that empty spirit's still there. That unclean spirit is still there. So you're not actually coming as you are. But when you come as you are wholeheartedly, willing to be a vessel, willing to confess God's greatness in your life and the journey that He carried you through. And when you were strong enough, He put you down. When you were mature enough, He opened your eyes to see where you were being deceived and you can handle it, then you're ready. Now, King, now, from time to time, I watch television and I see we have people that have podcasts or shows. Roland Martin, I see he has a show called Crazy Ass White People. And what he do is he point out racism um, that racist white people have, that rage inside of them. He point that out and he show America and the world what they do. Okay. And then I saw Dr. Rashad Ritchie. He does basically the same thing. Is he point out wrongdoings against black people by racist cops and other white people that own businesses that don't really care about Juneteenth and other things in our lives that we hold dear to us, that we love. But what I don't see these two kings doing ever is pointing out the problem that need to be fixed in black communities such as hoods where there's a lot of killing going on between blacks, a lot of downrating and degrading of the black woman. I don't see that. I don't see that on their show. uh, there was another woman, Sister Gracie, and she showed a take from this woman in China calling black people niggers, and the black people stayed there and they ate dinner, and they did. And this woman said some very, very, very courageous words out of her mouth. But these black people, I want to say this to those brothers and that sister or that group of my people that I love the way you handled that because you did something that our ancestors did. Um, our ancestors that were in civil rights days that stood and knew they were going to get spit on and hit with billy sticks, attacked by dogs, and let go with the fire hose and getting pushed back. You still sat there and our ancestors who sat on those in that restaurant in those seats right there right now in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think you're beautiful. I really do. I think that you're awesome. I really do. I do. I think that you're very strong. I do, because you represent the 1%. You represent that, and there's just the 1% of us who could see that these kings and queens that could show and that what we're being done, like how we're being addressed by racist white people, that's cool. But we need you to tap in and mentor young black men that get put in prison and in jail at young ages, those who have absorbed a lot of crap in their lives, who have absorbed the hood, who have become a puppet for racist white people. We need you to come in and do that. Show some mentoring. I saw on Roland Martin's show how he was talking about this black guy that was talking about the closing down of the Job Corps. See, what I saw was, yeah, he probably did come on that show and said what he said because he was brainwashed. hmm But when he got cleared up, when he was cleared up, and everything was put to pass, and he could see what was happening to the black youth, he stood up and he corrected himself. You see, the best apology is self-improvement. The best apology is to stand up and admit it, that you were wrong, through improving yourself. He may not have said he was sorry or he apologized for what he said on the show, but when he stood there and he said something about how the government is taking away our programs for the black youth. That was the best apology that brother could have gave to the black community, to black Americans. It was because he pointed it out, like Rashad, King Rashad, that is. We need a lot of more black men, a lot of the elders. I see a group of elders, they group up and they have their little drinks and parties and cookouts. But instead of that, it should be some education going on there. I mean, the elders have changed in the village because see, when an elder used to speak in the village, all they had to do was hold up their hand. They didn't even have to lift their voice. Only thing they had to do was hold up their hand, and women and men and children would sit and listen to the knowledge, the wisdom that they were speaking. So some knowledge, it needs to be spoken to the young black men because they have absorbed like a sponge ever since they've been little boys chaotic behavior, violent behavior, criminal behavior, disrespectful behavior. They have absorbed that in the hood. And the hood is racist white people' favorite place. It is. Because in the hood, there's no right leadership there. There are no block parties to celebrate kids' accomplishments. It's only selfishness there. It's a few of us here who have pasts of incarceration, of addiction, and other bad things that we are not afraid to speak on and say God delivered us from it. And we're passing the torch. And that's our wisdom from the experience and knowledge. I am not the only woman that feels this way. I am not the only queen in the nation of recovering addicts, of beautiful black queens that feel this way. Because I have watched Roland Martin, crazy ass white people show. I have watched Dr. Rashad Ritchie, and I have seen that. But you know, all of those black people that you guys put on those shows are black people with money. Every one of them got money. They're in college. They're doing jobs are teachers, school teachers. They live in mixed neighborhoods. You're not talking about what needs to be done to educate blacks in the hood, to correct them, because they do need to be corrected. Because if there is no correction, then it will continue. Just some days ago here in Savannah, Georgia, teenagers, Black males shot at each other in the mall, in the Oglethorpe Mall in Savannah, Georgia, and their faces was plastered all over the news. An elderly woman died days later from a heart attack. Those boys will be charged with her death. We already know that the justice system is against us, men and women in America. There need to be some correction going on here. There need to be kings to speak on what we need to do to improve our youth. It needs to be done. It is a need. That is a cry for help. When you see young black men shooting at each other in public places like the mall, a fairground, in a neighborhood around children, that's a cry for help. It's a cry for help for the generation that's coming behind them. Because if this thing is not corrected, if all we can do is point out the shortcomings of another race directed towards our race and not correct our race, for that not to be even expected, it'll continue. It'll keep going. It'll keep happening. The hood would always remain the way it is, with disrespectful black males in competition, females in competition, the young black woman and the older black women not communicating the way they're supposed to, because there goes the side piece. The older black woman is married to a prominent older black man, and the side piece want a piece of the action. So there's the disrespect. There's the dislike. The black woman and the older black woman, the younger black woman who never did that before, but because her auntie don't like that lady because of what she used to do, she doesn't either. You got to teach these people not to judge the least of these, because the least of these shall be first. We are real leaders because we do not judge. We lead with experience, knowledge, wisdom, love, no judgment, because we don't have a big ego. The young black man and the older black man. Why? Because the young black man sell dope and the older black man is on it. So he can pay him just a little bit of money to do whatever he want him to do. Even the young ones, they're addicted to stuff with fentanyl in it. It's messed up down here. It's messed up. And any time they feel like they can call us a nigga, even in college, even from prominent black families, they're going to do it. Because what they really love about the hood is that the blacks, some of the blacks in the hood don't worry about nothing but bull crap. They politicking against each other instead of going to the city telling them to fix up these streets. They so busy about who's zooming who. They want to know who's zooming who. They so busy doing that until they cannot call the landlord up and tell them to fix stuff in their own house. Call the city and tell them to chop down the bushes. Y'all need to do something with these abandoned buildings and houses. Instead of the elders always throwing parties and block parties for women to get out there and gyrate and shake it up, and they got homie on the phone, on the microphone, talk about the hood good. No, it's not. Letting people come in the hood that don't even live here, around in the area, creating chaotic situations and leaving, going back to their nice neighborhood. That's not cool. Racist white people love that. They do. because they know that you're not going to pay attention to what's important. They know that you don't care because you're dropping out of school. They know it. They know the teachers are going to talk about the students. They know this. They do it. They do it with them. They do. I have heard them talk about other kids' parents. They do. I knew a school teacher that said this in front of me. My son was a baby at that time, but hey, she was his relative. And she said it, how the teachers say things about students. They're not checking on the parent, they're just looking at these kids. You've heard them leaving the computer on, thinking it's off, and saying things. And people sweep that stuff up under the rug. I remember living in Atlanta, Georgia, and my daughter coming home from school, her first year of middle school, sixth grade, telling me that it was a little girl at her school pregnant. And I said, "What? There's a little girl at your school pregnant?" I thought to myself, I said it out loud too after I thought about it. I said, I thought that was over, babies having babies. The teachers aren't like investigating that. Come to find out, this girl was being molested by her stepfather. I'm telling you guys, kings and queens. But see, the queens of the nation of recovering addicts, we're doing our job here. Yes, we are, and we're doing it without regret. So we don't care about backlash or being belittled or downrated because someone uh, knows something. Let's get this out here on the clear, okay? We do not really care. We don't respect the word of the enemy. We respect the voice of love that tells us to do what we have to do to save our black girls coming up in these areas. That is our future. Now the kings that has these big shows, the kings that got this money, these communities, we need a black history class. Can we point that out? Huh? I think that's a good thing to point out. What do you think, guys? Huh? Yeah, I think so too. I do. I think it's a good thing to point out that the word nigga cannot be sugarcoated by anyone. It should not be accepted by anyone. No one should have the right to downgrade black people, not even black people. And the only way that will get across is if we stand up and stand for something instead of falling for anything that is given to us just for a little while and then taken when it starts to work in our favor. So, kings who were blessed to lead with experience plus knowledge and all equals to wisdom, you need to get you some classes in session and make this happen for our kids. You need to make this happen and talk to these young men, our kings that have experience with prison life, making bad choices, coming home after 20 years and all of these 10 years, even 3 or 2. We need to make this happen. You kings that done got in trouble following the wrong crowd at ages of 15 and having to be awarded to the state after you turn 18 to do harsh time and come home when you 21. You done missed all of your childhood. Basically your teenage years is gone. You are thrust into manhood in the prison system. These guys are lost when they get home. They are expecting the family to be the way it was when they left. And the family is not the same. Because when you left at the age of 15 and your sister was 14 or 15 with you, with no children, no husband, the way you left your mom, your grandmother was alive, your older brother, everybody was in the same house. When you come home, things have changed. Your sister is married, has children or a child. Your mother has changed. Your grandmother may be gone to heaven. Your older brother is living right. It is not the same. So don't come out thinking that it will be the same way you left it. You are a man now. And men need to be taught these things. Some of them be in there so long until cell phones will be unrecognizable. Some people go in. And the people that went in at those long time ago times, when they came out, it was cell phones. There were no more pay phones. Everything was foreign to them. Never the same. Time goes on and it does not wait for anyone. And these kings that have TV shows and all of this, can we please do a show? Come to the hood, come to the civic center. Let's get together. Let's get a Black history class. Let's fight for that. Let's point that out. Let's put that in progress. I mean, Donald Trump is about to get $16 million for Paramount because of something that they said. Oh, come on. Just because they gave us a Martin Luther King Boulevard, a Martin Luther King Bridge, just because they gave us some things in Malcolm X's name and memory, that does not erase the fact that we need a Black history class. Just because Juneteenth was just discovered, that speaks volumes itself about a Black history class being needed. Yes, that in itself is a need, because I still saw Black people buying $500 worth of fireworks, big old cookouts, dressed to the T. And I saw 3 white people say that Juneteenth should not be a holiday, that they already have an Independence Day. So why can't we speak up and say, hey, give us our Black history class. Let us learn the real meaning of Juneteenth. Let it be known how it was kept away in secret 2 whole years before they really exposed it for the date it was. Let it be known. We need to know these things. People need to know. My people need to know. My little kings and little queens coming up behind this generation. I don't know if you watched Paul Mooney, but Paul Mooney gave you all a message in comedy. He said that these guys of this generation aren't afraid of the police. They're not afraid of their parents. They're not afraid of them dogs. They raise bulldogs. He had the whole crowd laughing. Black people up there, white people. They cracking up laughing at his jokes. But there was a message there. And that message is they are dangerous. They're dangerous to us, their own people, and any people. That was the message. The message was simply a warning and a cry for help. Everything that this gifted brother said, it was a message. Now, That's the only way that some people can get a message is through comedy. Every comedian that has gotten filthy rich have been honest with their pain, and people laughed at it, and people came to see it, and people paid big money to see it. They built these people a legacy off of truth. So why cannot our people have a Black History class? How come we cannot stand for that? How come we can get prominent rappers to vote for a president that has snatched away everything that they grew up on as well? Job Corps, trying to take away our public school, messing with Social Security. Why can't you guys get together and we all get together and vote to have a Black History class? Because after all, the music is what the youngsters are listening to. hmm Once they learn your music, when they see the movies, they begin to act like that. Yes, they do. Because they start to believe that women, Black women, are what you say. They do that. And they hear it from older Black men who are not kings. They are not. They're not passing wisdom down. They're passing down destruction. They're giving it to them. And now they don't even have to buy a tape or a CD or a record or anything like that. You can just click it up on their TVs. Our leaders were slain because they told the truth. They spoke on truths. It wasn't nothing. They said a wrong thing against the grain. Everything they stood for was right. We were being treated wrong in those days. And nowadays, other Blacks are treating other Blacks that way. You can't get no rest at night because Blacks are around your house, around my house. I can't get rest as what it used to be like. But God has eased my mind. Yes, He has. And the respect and the love that I have for my son keeps me whole. The fact that I chose, there you go. That's right, Holy Spirit. Yes, hit it again. The fact that I chose God. That's right. I chose Him. I chose God. I chose my child and myself over pain from a man. I chose to ignore a female who thinks she has accomplished something. You see, a lot of women go around bragging about the fact that, oh, when he was with her, he didn't have much. He didn't have nothing. But now, since he's with me, he has this, he has that. He does, doesn't he? But his self respect is gone. And you can't leave me alone or women like me. So you make us stronger and you give us something to live for. You do. And it's not getting back at you, it is getting our point across that God is real, that queens are made through experience and pain, not a good life, not bragging, not influencing people with chaotic ideas and dumb things to do. Kings are made through experience and pain. Yes, they are real ones that make a change in their lives and make a difference in society, who have something to offer to society. the community that they live in, and the world. We are not walking by hearsay. We walk by faith. And with that, our belief is strengthened because we receive what we believe. Yes, we do. And the honor and the glory goes to our God. And we can go back into our www.com of memory. Oh, yes, our www.memory.com. And we could win. We could win over racist white people and racist black people and racist any race of people who look down on us. We are the world, and we have something to say. So while you all are voting, please remember this. We need to have a Black history class because there are more Black leaders in history than just the ones we are taught about. There's more Black heroes than Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Robert F. Williams. The wives and fiancés of these men. Yes, Black women. There are so much, many more Black female heroes too in history, starting from our African queens who fought against the Portuguese, who fought against European leaders to try and put us in slavery. Slavery came in so many different forms. It wasn't just that some white people decided one day they're going to get on a boat and go over to Africa and round up some Black people. No, we were watched. Our style was copied. The grace of a Black woman, that's why they beat the Black woman first. They beat her. They beat our ancestors down. The slave females was raped because they saw our strength. They peeped us through the bushes, watched us, and they copied us. And they do it still today. They copy us. They peep and copy. And some of them don't even have to peep. You allow them right up in your place. You talk about the Black women with other races. Downgrade us. Right there. Oh, I forgive you, brother. Oh, yes, because you lost. You have observed and absorbed what you saw other Black men doing when you was a little boy. So that's why you behave and act the way you do. That's why you degrade and you put down a Black woman because you have absorbed what you have seen for generation after generation, not just in your family, but other Black families too, other Black neighborhoods. So, yes, you're all are forgiven. I understand. But look, when the sower sowed the seeds and he allowed us to grow up together, what you got to understand is that when I grew up with you and it came time for me to be separated, I was separated, okay? But I still grew up in the world with you. So if I sometimes say something worldly, hey, it is not what I am, okay? It is what I saw. And now that I am separated, I could see better. So if I do not insult you when you want me to, it's not my fault. But I'm glad that I was chosen to be separated during harvest time. I am glad that I was able to grow up with the bad seeds because the bad seeds are everywhere. They are everywhere. And the good seeds are as well. There's some on the wayside too. Some on the concrete. hmm So you guys, we was peeped. We was studied. Because let me ask you a question. When someone get ready to rob a bank, they don't go right in there and rob the bank, do they? No, they got to cast out and look. They got to put in somebody. When the police get ready to do a bust, they don't bust you right away. They watch. They peep your game. Then they know who to put in there to get you. That's just how it is with regular people too. They know how to watch you. Think they know what you need, and then they'll try to put somebody in there. But see, the anointed and the chosen, we've been blessed with the spirit of discernment. So when you send somebody at us that done peeped our game, and you done schooled them, and you done told them what to say and everything, you still don't have us. Because see, just like you, we can fool you too to make you think we believe you. Anyway, we was peeped. And then they put people in there, our people, okay, to round us up to help them catch us. And the black woman was strong and vibrant and radiant. Why you think the mistress walked around the way she did? She was taught our culture. That's why she walked around. That's why when she was married to her husband, that was her land. Okay? Because in Africa, the land belonged to mother. And when we married a king, okay, if we chose, see, they didn't have a choice. So when they got married, their husband became the owner of their land and their slaves. Okay? We need to teach the rest of our children these things about our people, our culture, how it was copied, how it was stolen, everything was stolen. It needs to be taught. I'm not just another person that you see walking around. I wasn't just another person off the street when I came into my family church that Sunday. I was a test, and I'm a test for a lot of people. I am a mirror to a lot of people. I am a strength that a lot of people do not have. I am a voice that a lot of people do not have. I am a wisdom that a lot of people do not have. I am a truth that a lot of people do not have. So let that be the reason that a lot of you do to change things and step up. Do that. Do that. This has been Denise Jenkins with another edition of PLM. People like me. I am my sister's keeper. Therefore, I shall keep my sisters out of harm's way. I shall love on my sisters. I shall give them love. I shall lead them into sobriety with love, honor, and respect. Because after all, I am my sister's keeper. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast. Send your comments to Our Father's Podcast, PLM. People like me with Denise Jenkins. Peace be unto you, my sisters. Peace be unto you, my brothers. Peace be unto you, King Rashad Brooks, and your family. Peace be unto you. Okay, so